Looks weird in here. What's up, guys? Josh here on the wrong lead, and we're going to be doing our inaugural StableDuel live stream here. Gonna have to introduce a couple of these people here. Number one, let's get their Q score up to start. Why don't we get Caleb in here, Mr. Caleb WVU, going all out with the background.
Yeah, I was looking for the fun photos of me having fun in Ohio, and I couldn't find any. So this is what I came up with. So excited, big race.
Have you ever been to Thistledown?
I've never been to Thistledown. I grew up in Mountaineers' backyard, so I know my way around a rat track, but never been to Thistledown. And looks like they have a pretty good card this weekend, so might have to put it on the list and make a trip out there.
See, I just looked at the list of jocks that are riding at Thistledown this weekend, and I see a lot of Mountaineer names. So I just assumed that there's also Mountaineer horse players. So I assumed that maybe you would have had a little bit of experience there. Speaking of the Midwest, why don't we get Mr. Middle Move in here, Brian?
Sorry, it took me a minute. I had to get my walker and walk over here.
Poor Brian. What did I say? How old did I say you were? About 70?
You called me 70, and unfortunately, if you're playing Illinois racing, and I've seen 3 tracks shut down, we're about to see the 4th one shut down. Now I feel really old. So
I had to remember if Balmoral was the one that you said you were at, like you grew up at. I thought that was right. That sounded right.
It was. Balmoral's a great little track. And, the many days of stale cigar and cigarette smoke as a teenager.
Yeah, it's also it's a beautiful, what is it, a jump facility now?
It's nothing right now. They put like $3 million into it to make it a jump facility, and then lo and behold, they have it up for sale.
It looks like our boy Steven's already in chat saying tons of fun in Ohio. He's man, I always forget. He's Cincinnati? I think he's Cincinnati, home of Skyline Chili, which we will not talk about.
Let's be honest, Cincinnati's almost Kentucky.
All right, let's get the least exciting member of On the Wrong Lead in here.
Yeah, I knew I was going to get pulled in. I knew it. I just knew it.
Yeah, I was wondering. What Chase was going to do. Chase is the man in the controls today, and he's kind of bringing people in. And I was like, let's see what he does with this. And sure enough, Mark.
Thanks, Chase, buddy. Thanks, buddy.
Now, Mark, I do want to point out, right? You said it was a special day today, and it was time to bust open a bottle that you've had for like a whole day.
I've had it for like a whole day. I don't know how well it shows up on stream, but I stumbled across, made some friends at the local liquor store and got some Weller CYPB, which is basically unobtainium.
So the funny thing is that it's kind of a known fact among the liquor crowd that wine drinkers are like the best customers. And those are like usually the people who get like precedent. And if I know anything about Mark, it's that the man loves a nice, I don't know, I was going to name some pretentious, a nice Bordeaux. Sure, right? I don't know. What's like a real pretentious wine?
Bordeaux is fairly pretentious. Yeah.
Okay.
You were good there. Yeah.
Okay. And now the man behind the curtain. What's up, Chase? How you doing? What are you drinking? You got a little bit of Kahlua?
No, I'm still on my quest to drink like all of just the terrible free liquor that I've gotten over the years, and so this is the Jack Daniel's cinnamon whiskey, the Tennessee Fire.
Ooh.
Got a little bit of sore throat, so it actually works out today.
Was that the one? Was that the one that you said like, "Hey, I've stomached a lot of real bad, cheap free liquor, and this might be the worst."
I don't. Maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah,
It's
there
not
was
good.
one.
It's
There was
not
like one
delicious.
bottle that you were just like, I don't know if this is actually going to get drunk. Like this might just get poured down the drain. But it seems like we've hit rock bottom here, and have brought out the. Have Mark send you some whiskey.
I
Mark,
brought him
okay.
whiskey. The last time I visited, I brought him whiskey, and then I got crap for leaving a divot in his couch.
So yeah, but first of all, the couch dent aside, the funniest story that I heard from that weekend was Chase messages me and he goes, "Dude, Mark brought like a ton of cigars." And so I'm like, "Oh, he just probably wanted you to have variety and stuff like that." He's like, "No. You don't understand. Mark literally had 2 of those big Nalgene bottles filled with cigars." I did not know. Did he just think we were going to chain smoke cigars for like 10 hours a day? Mark, he said you brought like 45 cigars. Is this true?
I mean, 45 might be a stretch. There was definitely more than was required. I wanted to give the man some selection. He could choose what one he liked the best. He had a lot of options there. Would be a nice friend. I was coming down to crash at his track, which we never actually made it to, but I figured he would have some options that way.
Fun part of that story is how many cigars did we smoke that weekend?
0. Grand total 0.
Nah,
Zero.
he packed them out also.
Oh my god, that's just insanity. But that was also the poor Mark. I mean, I never get tired of telling that story. He gets on the plane right as Oaklawn Park is like, we are running no matter what. This is happening, and literally like in the 2.5 hour flight that he was there, like they canceled.
Yeah, he was
somewhere between Albany and Atlanta. They decided that they literally 15 minutes before getting on the plane, Chase messaged me like, "Dude," he's like, "they just put out a tweet. They are 100% running, gonna run no matter what." Halfway between between Albany and Atlanta, apparently they changed their mind.
Yeah, somewhere over Virginia, his whole fucking weekend got screwed.
Well, for the record, I reached out to Vic and I told him you're on an airplane on your way down, and so he said he was going to call it.
There's our boy Papo say, "I need to roll with Mark." Papo's always smoking a cigar. He's always burning the heaters over there. Papo, like I said, man, once you get out to Arlington, let me know. I also have lots of Mark cigars, so we can smoke a cigar on Mark because I think I still got like 10 or 12 of Mark's cigars that he sent me. So,
dude, show up at Saratoga. I'll hook you up.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we can kind of talk about that a little bit real quick before we get into the races. Yeah, it sounds like Alabama weekend is going to be a pretty big weekend because it sounds like we got some Discord people going. Caleb has tentatively said he's going to show up. I just booked my flight today. Clamps is talking about going up there. So I already know PDT's going. So it's going to be a good weekend. So if any of you guys are planning on being up at Saratoga, let us know. Come up, say hi. We just love just bullshitting. I think last time we went, 2 years ago? Last time I went, sorry, Mark. Last time I went was like 2 years ago, and we had like 5 or 6 people come up and say hi. It was kind of crazy, but I guess it's also that a lot of people in the Discord are from that area. So, Papo saying that he's trying to get up to Arlington, but the wife doesn't want to support a dying track.
But he plays Gulfstream, so I don't understand that one.
Yeah,
Gulfstream's about to have 3 surfaces and run 700 days a year.
Dude, Larry Ravelli is going to move all his horses down south and just run them in the Tapeta. It's going to be lights out.
No.
By the way, shout out to Larry Ravelli for paying for my Saratoga trip last night at Canterbury, and shout out to all the contest players who fattened up that double pool for me because I cleared like a nice $600 in and out of that Ravelli race. So big shout out to the players. I saw that was like a record handle for them. in like their 30, I think it was like 31 years or whatever they've been open. So love the product there. So I'm glad that they had such a great night. But yeah, let's get into this here a little bit. Now, Caleb, I know you are a huge StableDuel player. I believe you've said that StableDuel may or may not have funded a down payment on your future house. So I'll probably be leaning on you a little bit more here, just asking you a little bit, and we'll kind of talk a little bit of strategy. But we're also we're mostly focused on this late pick 5 sequence a little bit. I believe that starts with race 6. So Chase, I don't know if you want to fire up those PPs, and we can kind of get going here. Looks like we got a 6 furlong allowance race here. I'll be honest, I looked at this race, and as far as for StableDuel purposes, I didn't really love anything in this race. There's probably about 2 races in here that I'm going to skip for sure. Race 2, I believe, was the other one that I wasn't a real big fan of in my first pass through it. But definitely in race 6, I guess if you look at the 1, you might get your winner out of that joint entry. I know it looks like it's a dual entry, and size is named on both of them, so one of them is probably going to scratch. But I don't know. I just didn't have a great feeling here. Mark, I think you said you liked Hipster in the spot.
I was making a joke about Hipster. I'm shocked, Josh, that you're not all over this 3. The Chip Chop seems like the definition of a Josh horse, so it should get loose on the lead here. It should be the speed of the speed, improving form pattern. Looks like a horse ready to make a next step forward, and I don't even think he needs to make a next step forward. He can fire back to that last race and probably can win this. I was expecting Josh to be slamming the easy Chip Chop and getting that 3-1 morning line.
See, I always have a problem, and like this is, mind you, like maybe like some of the rest of the guys here, like I'm fairly new to StableDuel, so you're looking at spending $8,000 on this horse here for StableDuel, and I don't know, like if I'm going to take a shot with one of these, I guess you say Josh horse, this is not I think it's just too short of a price to feel great about taking it. Like I said, I think maybe the 1, especially if the 1 is the horse that stays in instead of the 1A, that might be a horse that I take a shot at. It looks like you're at 7-2. You're getting a little bit of a discount of $7,500, but it's kind of tough because at least for me, and this is true for StableDuel, this is true for DFS. I'm a pretty casual DFS, or more serious around NFL season, but I play a bit of DFS, and I kind of take that whole stars and scrubs kind of approach to it, and a lot of those middle prices, unless I feel really, really great about it, like I try and avoid them a little bit. So 8,000, there's a horse a little bit later on in the sequence that is around that price that I'm feeling a little bit better about taking a shot with. But Caleb, I'm interested. What are you saying here?
Yeah, I actually did. I mean, first off, I do agree with Mark. I think the 3 is tons the horse to beat here. He kind of covered all the reasons why. From a handicapping perspective, I think that you'll be lucky to get 3-1 on that horse. My opinion here is that I would be against a coupled entry. I don't know if they actually go off coupled or if one of them scratches or they get a new jockey. But those connections are going to take a ton of money. I mean, Saez with Timothy Ham, and I'm just not really enamored with either of the entry. Honestly, even if they both run, they wouldn't do much for me. So you might get a decent-ish live price on the 3, but if not, I still think the 3 is probably head and shoulders your horse to beat here. But that being said, if you're trying to get a little creative, whether you're trying to work in a horse, in an exacta, or you're looking for a cheaper StableDuel, dart. I kind of did like this 2 Big House Express. The last race is pretty ugly, but you figure he's going a mile and a 16th in the slop, which is probably 2 things that he doesn't particularly want to do. Not a ton of route pedigree on that horse, and he has handled off tracks before, but I think that that just really wasn't the right setup for him that day. He did kind of have a rough start. made a middle move into a really hot pace, and then
What'd
kind
you
of
say?
flattened out.
A middle move.
Made a middle move, Mr. Middle Move himself.
Can
And
you
then,
lean in and say it all fucking smooth like you normally do?
Come on, Brian, let's hear it.
It's the middle move.
I need you to
That's just
record my voicemail for me. But,
That is a quiet storm if I've ever heard it. My lord.
oh shit! But yeah, I like the two here to at the very least get a piece. If you look back to his sprint races, 2 back, one of the best figs in the field. He should be forwardly placed in a race that doesn't have a ton of pace, and if he can run down the 3, like I'm not so sure, but at 8-1, I think he offers good value.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I don't know if it's my turn or not, but $8,000 for Corey Lannery on Chip Chop. I actually think the move from Bracho to Lannery is a downgrade right now. and if you're playing StableDuel, I mean, you've got to find a better spot to spend $8,000 in your stable, right? And Corey can't find the winner circle right now with both hands. So if you're going to spend $8,000 on Corey here, good luck.
So everyone mentioned pretty much all the horses I liked, except apparently the one that I'm keen on and was probably actually going to use in a StableDuel lineup, but also definitely in the pick 5 was the 8 Hipster. I mean, the horse has only missed the trifecta once in its career. It's trending up completely, and so I really thought that this one had a chance to kind of get out, stock the early speed, which there should be a good bit of early speed in this one, and take it all the way. I don't know. Was it a punchline just because it was Hipster? What's the deal, Mark?
I don't know. I get picked on for being a bit of a hipster at times, but I didn't think that was the punchline. I do like Hipster in this spot, though. He should be an outside tracking spot. If he fires back to that maiden race, he's a player here, and he's perfect across the track. And it seems this is his distance. So, I thought Hipster made some sense. I don't know if it would be a StableDuel play necessarily. I think this is a race I would either use the 3 or kind of skip, but I think Hipster makes some sense. If you're somebody playing a pick 5, it's an interesting horse to have as that sort of B type, because I think there is still that upside there.
Anyone
Josh,
say
you're
any
gonna
thoughts?
say
No,
something.
this is totally, like I said, this is probably a skip race for me, or this is one of those races. Like when I looked at this card, there were 2 races I was really going to build around, and this just wasn't one of them. The next race, though. I don't know if you guys got anything else here. The next race I thought is going to be one of my, I guess it's going to be kind of a mid-price play coming up here in the next one. But
Hey, Chase, just because Popo's asking in chat, you want to throw up the commercial?
Oh yeah,
It'll give him the info.
we have completely sold out, so we have all these fancy tools at our disposal now. So get ready for the magic of edited film.
You've picked your power forward. Your all-star receiver keeps scoring. Now it's time to race across the finish line and put even more points on the board. Download the StableDuel app and get in on the thrill of horse racing. Choose your horses, your jockeys, your track, and win thousands in daily games competing against other players. Move up the annual leaderboard and bring home real cash prizes daily. Get in the game with StableDuel. Play, race, win.
So just full disclosure, that was actually cover so Josh could go and get bourbon, but he didn't feel like hustling. So
We wanted to make sure we gave Josh enough time to get bourbon.
yeah, I tried to
Did that
run and get
before.
bourbon. Whoops.
In all fairness, if you've seen Josh's liquor cabinet, you'd understand why that trip takes 5 minutes.
Yeah,
You know what's funny is I was going to
bottles.
run downstairs and just grab the first bottle, and then I saw all the bottles, and I was like, I should probably check. And I was like, hopefully it's a long commercial.
How many bottles you get?
I just only grabbed 2.
What you drinking over there anyway?
I guess I'm going to start with the Jack Daniel's special edition rye here.
That's
So-
really good. That's good
Top
stuff.
shelf stuff.
So last week I drank Booker's, and then I drank more Booker's, and then Caleb and I played some video games, and I drank more Booker's. And that's not the kind of whiskey that you want to drink the entire night. So
Booker's is like the only bourbon that literally just goes like straight to my head and just like fucking starts like kicking around and and shit. Like I immediately feel like a shot of Booker's.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Oh, sure. Now you got. I start singing the song and everybody just stops.
Big shout out, keep pounding.
Yeah, big shout out to Keep Pounding. I don't know if he's watching yet, but
I think they're jumping Mountaineer tonight.
I thought I saw Charlestown.
Oh, is it Chucktown tonight?
I saw Chucktown,
Ooh.
and I saw like rapid fire happening.
Yeah, after the last one, I think they're trying to get it back.
I think that's still our money.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
Caleb, I'm a little disappointed for the hometown boy not knowing that Mountaineer does not run on Thursdays.
I completely forgot today was Thursday.
yeah, dude, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it's been a hell of a week for me.
Yeah, I feel
we did an install of software a couple months ago before I started at this new job, and this was like our review week of like talking with all the different departments. Hey, how are things going? So I've literally been in meetings from like 8 to 5, like 4 days straight. So finally tomorrow, all of our meetings are over except for another 2-hour meeting, but whatever. Anyways, let's get on here to race 7. This is actually one of the races I'm going to be keying something around. Caleb, which horse am I picking in this race?
Josh, I would bet my life that you're betting Brig, the 2-horse.
$6,500 Brig. That is going to be my play here. This is going to be one of the 3 horses I'm kind of going to be keying around as far as my StableDuel. This looks like we don't got a lot of speed in this race, and the 2's probably going to get out there and going to get loose. And it could be cheap speed, but if you look back also through this horse's past performances, the horse just loves to hit the board. So I feel like this is a place I can spend some cash, and I'm gonna get a return on investment. I'm gonna get at worst a second or third out of it. But I think this is the most likely winner here. 9-2 is not terrible. I think I said it already, but I think it's like $6,500 is what's going to cost you. And this is.
I hate this because we both actually really like Brig. Like that Brig was my pick here. So I feel like whenever we both are on the same, just exceedingly inexpensive velocity horse, that basically we just ride it straight to hell. Like it's just. It's like a suicide pact, pretty much. Like you shoot me in the face, then you shoot yourself in the face.
This can't go well because I'm also on Brig. Brig was another horse I was going to key around. Horse is your quintessential every other time horse. 9-2 on the horse that's the speed of the speed and has never missed the board at this track. I'm all about that. And he's going to get stupid loose once again. I don't know if he's good enough. He's getting a little bit of class relief here. I thought Brig made just a ton of sense, and he's at 9-2 with that morning line. If you're playing StableDuel, that's the kind of horse I think you build the ticket around. And I think if you're playing a pick 5, it becomes probably my lone A in this race.
Man. All right, Brian, one of us has to break up this love triangle. You want to do it or should I?
Having spent a few weekends in the Brig while I was in the Marine Corps, I've learned to hate the word. So I'm gonna let you guys develop your own hate for the word Brig, like I have inside of me. And you all are on a cheap speed horse, so that tells me I need to take the closer because the race is going to fall apart. So I'm looking at Buckeye Magic, the 3, 7-2 in the morning line, $7,500 for the StableDuel contest. Has been improving in every start. Let me take that back. Mild step back in the first start of the year, but it has progressed from there. I can make some excuses on that one. If for some reason Brig goes and is the Jakarta of Ohio, I would like to believe that Buckeye Magic will be the benefactor. And
by the way, Jakarta ran today at Belmont and couldn't even go out and speedball on the front and soften up Robin Sparkles for us. Like Jakarta is just completely
done. Done is the word.
I'm not sure if it's done as much as this a big pain in the ass is really the way I'd phrase it.
People have reported that in the Brig also.
Jakarta's done. Yeah, I wish someone would have told me Jakarta was done a year ago. And before you guys say that you did try and tell me,
We
shut
all
up.
did, Josh. All of us.
Shut up.
All of us told you this.
You were on a
Every
path
time the
of
horse is
self-destruction that no one could talk you out of. You wanted to lose.
Look at the bright side. April 2022, Jakarta at Mountaineer. It's gonna be beautiful.
Actually, I
take
thought
that long.
I thought this was like one of the more like open races on the card, but I took Brig as my overall pick. Like I had probably about 4 or 5 horses I could make a case for here.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chase. I think the race is open. Partially to play devil's advocate here and break up this little love orgy y'all got going on with Brig. Horse can't route. I mean, has tried it twice and just can't go that far. What's different? It's on Saturday. I mean, I get that he's lone speed, but he was 3 lengths clear last time and still got swallowed. So what's different?
I don't think he wants an off track. His pedigree says he wouldn't really love an off track, and it was sloppy last time out. So I will toss that.
Okay. Well, either way, I don't love the race here. I thought the chalk all looked strong here. Like I thought the 2, the 3, and the 8 all looked very usable to me. I can't really say I love this one, but I don't like this one. So this is a race I'm not going to have much going through. I don't have much of an opinion here. I think one of those 3 are your winner, but I don't want to use 3 or 4 horses and have the top 3 or 4 choices. And I'm not going to spend that kind of money in a stable duel contest on a horse that, in my opinion, could run 4th or 5th. I don't feel great about any of them.
Can I just say how very concerned I am that Mark is also on this horse? Like Chase and I, like Chase and I getting on the same speedball horse. Okay, that's fine, right? That's just Chase and I being us. But when Mark jumps aboard, I don't know. This kind of feels like, remember, when we were all playing I don't know, Turfway Park or Indiana Grand or something, and all of a sudden Mark's like, "Hey, let me check out this fun new track," and then Mark just banks a couple grand, and the rest of us are just sitting there losing money. Is there a way that Brig wins and Chase and I lose somehow, but Mark doesn't? Because I feel
you won't win about the horse. You'll try to roll it into an exacta.
Yeah, we'll key it on top.
You'll key it on top. Yeah.
Single it in a daily double and just not win bet. Yeah, that's typically how that goes.
Yeah. See, I'm going to go a complete opposite direction. I think somebody's going to have salad and a bee to eat on Saturday.
I'm definitely not eating a salad. I'll tell you that. So.
My bees are the 3 and the 8. So if Brian is right, I eat a bee.
Thank
you.
Your
bees are also your life.
Yeah, they basically are. Yeah.
I completely forgot
I don't have a lot else. So yeah.
I completely forgot that we were talking about horizontal ticket structure, and I was like, eat a bee, You've gotten real weird, Brian. Real weird.
I got a little weird, but for the people that have watched the show before, it's typical Mark. He'll love a horse and he'll say this horse is lone speed, can't lose. And then in the third leg of a pick 5, all we hear is, well, crap, I ate a B there. It'd be some obscure 20-1 horse he had as a B, even though he loved the 6-5 horse. So let's just call a spade there. Let's put it out there.
Something I want to point out is that as I was handicapping this and I was scrolling through, I just saw Cleveland and then some words in front of Cleveland. I was like, oh yeah, it's the Grover Cleveland Stakes. And then I went back and I looked at it and I was like, the Daniel Stern, is it Daniel Stern, one half of the wet/sticky bandits from Home Alone 1 and 2, also the voice of the Wonder Years. But apparently it's Daniel Stern, so I am just all fucked up about this race.
Anybody else got anything on this one?
Yeah, I think did anybody mention the 8 yet? I think Caleb said the 8, right? I mean,
yeah,
the other horse I was a little interested in here, but I can't get beyond those 3.
All right, let's move on here. We got race 8, mile and the 8th, the Lady Jacqueline Stakes, so. When I first looked at this race, I saw Horologist was entered, and I was just like, well, this is easy. I'm just going to play Horologist. Who cares? Who else could possibly be racing at Thistledown on a Saturday that might concern me? And then I did see that Spice is Nice is entered, and I still said, who else could be possibly entered that might concern me? And then I guess get rid of what Ailes used entered in here, but you got Dylan Davis aboard, so you can also ignore that. So Horologist is actually going to be my big price key around here. With real life money, I'm actually very interested in doubling out of this race into a single in the next race, which Caleb will also successfully guess which horse I'm on in the next race. But I just think Horologist is better than everybody here. You're going to be paying $7,500. It's going to be a thank you for that. Can't be a has been, never was. Good old Jakarta, but yeah, I think Horologist is going to be one of the bigger prices I'm going to key around. $7,500. Kind of toss that last race at Pimlico. I don't really have a good reason to, but I'm just going to assume that she's going to kind of bounce back into form. And I think Horologist's best race wins this race. So hoping we get a little bit of a bounce back effort. And I think you're looking at worst case here, maybe a second or third with Horologist. So I don't see her, dropping out of it completely and finishing out of the money. So I think it's a safe use of some salary here.
Have you Google mapped to see how far Thistledown is from the state of New Jersey? Isn't that the deal? Like as soon as Horologist gets outside of the perimeter of the New Jersey bubble, like it goes poorly.
I mean, she's won at Belmont and she's won at Aqueduct. I mean,
that's all very close to New Jersey.
She's been better.
It's literally right across the river from New Jersey.
Yeah, but I mean, really, you're going to be concerned about a horse shipping from arguably the best circuit minus Monmouth in the country to Thistledown.
Yeah, but they have the Jersey jock on, so does that count? Is that like the homebred jockey?
Oh, she brought Jersey with her.
That's what I'm saying.
Jersey Joe.
You can take the Jersey out of Horologist.
Inside of her all along, Chase.
Do we really want to know inside of her? Josh, that's illegal.
You guys know what I meant. Get your sick minds out of here.
It's like a bad Disney movie.
It's a very bad Disney movie.
All right. I love this play, especially for StableDuel. Is using misspelled the name. Oh well. The 7 Grandbaby, the Kenny McPeak horse that was racing in Chile and comes back, adds Lasix. You see McPeak's got a strong shipper to the U.S. angle, also off the layoffs, and so I really I love when international horses come in and throw on the Lasix. So I'm at what $1,000 salary price StableDuel. I'm absolutely going to use this horse as my value play.
Did you notice who the jock on the 7 is?
Don't care.
Okay.
Just has to hold on to this Chilean rocket.
Hey,
there's a Chilean horse in here, and Josh isn't all over the Chilean horse.
Also,
we're not going 1.5 miles. That's why.
Wow. Okay.
It's got to be a marathon.
Hey, Chase, just a question, because I know Mark looks into it. Any concern about the horse being off for almost 500 days there?
No.
You don't care?
I mean, probably I should, but no.
Yeah, the big thing that scares me is the fact that Ken McPeak, first start within his barn is only 8% over the past 3 years. So he does not do well spotting them first to, fresh starters into his barn, and that would scare the bejesus out of me. Obviously, he's taking a shot here, hoping to spot this one correctly, but this one I couldn't get behind.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're not necessarily talking like to win the race, I mean, and especially thinking for like the $10,000 Ohio Derby tournament that we've got on StableDuel, like if we're not thinking the horse to win the race, like I could quite easily at this price pick another horse that's a little bit more pricey, because this one's only cost me $1,000 of my salary, and it's still, if I get it, probably at least to 4th place, it has a decent showing, then I've stolen a couple points there.
But what happens when the 7 finishes last by 30 lengths?
Well, then I lose a bunch of fucking points, Mark.
What
happens if the sun doesn't come up tomorrow, Mark? What happens? What happens if Donald Trump is reinstated president? We just don't know.
Bet your bottom dollar that the sun will come up tomorrow.
When you have that deep velvety voice, it's actually super weird when you sing songs from Annie. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, I told Chase before this, my best pick, or my best bet in this sequence is in here with the number 4, Miss Bigley. This is a horse that they have been trying to do everything else with, and I think they're finally starting to figure out. She's had 20 starts lifetime. They've been running her at a mile. They've been running her at 5.5. They've tried her on turf. They've tried her at 6. And last out in the Shawnee, they stretched her out to a mile and 16th, and she ran the best race of her career by a mile. After moving into the Field of Model Barn, she's done nothing but improve. And she's got I realize 5-year-olds don't normally take another step forward, but why can't she take another step forward here? She's improved, all 5 starts in the barn. You're getting 6-1, which in StableDuel dollars is 5,000. And that's the kind of horse I want, because I think that this horse has a lot higher chances of winning than 1 in 6. So yeah, that is my, that's my sort of, I don't know if you want to call it a price play or if you want to call it a best bet, but best bet with a little price to it. I'm not eating chalk here.
Well, per Caleb, anything between like 8-5 and like 8-1 is like garbage.
Not exactly.
I'm picking garbage then.
Not garbage. Just you get less value for your dollar. But at any rate, as I can prepare my scorn for all your picks. Josh, I actually do kind of like Horologist here. I mean, she definitely isn't every other race kind of horse. I like her, a lot actually. But what I wanted to touch on was that Pimlico race on May 14th. There was an insane speed bias that day, and not just a speed bias, but also like an absolute like fucking platinum rail. So that race really isn't as bad as it looks. I thought she ran a pretty decent race given the trip. Against the track conditions, but the horse I thought ran a monster race against the track bias was the 8. Get rid of what ails you. Mm-hmm. I'm not the biggest Dylan Davis fan, but I will say it's probably an upgrade from Castellano. So,
ouch. I feel targeted.
So, if you look at the company she's been keeping, if you want to talk about a little back class, I mean, Latruska, Monomoy Girl, Swiss Skydiver, She Dares the Devil. I mean, she's been really banging heads with the best filly and mares in the country. She was up against the bias last out. She kind of had a bad start, came out 11 lengths last. She did get the rail run, which probably helped her a little bit, but she was really the only horse to make up any ground. The horses that were 1, 2, 3, 4 ended up finishing like 2, 1, 4, 5, with Get Rid of What Ails You being the only horse to make up ground that day. So I think she can run a huge race here. She does need to get a little help with the pace. I'm hoping one of these cheaper Thistledown horses like the 6 or whoever else can kind of keep the 2-horse Crystal Ball honest on the front end, because she does project to get a pretty comfortable lead here. But I think if there's an honest pace and the track's playing fair, that Get Rid of What Ails You is definitely going to be
See, all right, so you hit the last thing that I wanted to jump on with the whole, like, if the track's playing fair. Like, when I'm playing like an absolutely brand new track and I have no idea what the track does or will do, doesn't this kind of horse just scare the bejesus out of you in terms of using it, because there's a good chance that maybe it's just like a conveyor belt and the horse just never even had a chance, even if the pace is there?
I mean, I think that's a concern, especially at cheap tracks. Looking at the Brisnet statistical data, I mean, of 78 races at this distance, only 18% have gone gate to wire. That's quite a bit lower than what you'd typically see at any other dirt route in America, I would say. So I'm not too concerned about it, especially given that we saw what she was able to do against a massive track bias last time. So even against a biased track, this horse is going to do her, run her race. I mean, she's 8 out of 10 in the trifecta, and even better than that if you look at some of her recent results. So I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, I mean, I do think taking a 1-run closer at a shorter price is always something that makes you a little anxious.
There's a lull in the crowd before somebody talks about the first out Bob Baffert horse. Nobody's going to take Crystal Ball. I'm a little surprised, unless people don't like leaving the Baffert barn.
That's sort of out of the Baffert barn, sort of like out of the Chad Brown barn, isn't it? Isn't it one of those situations where they're suspect until proven otherwise?
But is this an issue of coming out of there because of being suspect? And this horse won at Churchill Downs. This horse won at Santa Anita, and Windstar wants to run this horse. I think Windstar is just distancing themselves a little bit, given the news media. And I think this horse is going to come in and be ready to run. I mean, 5-1 in the morning line. I know, was that 6,000 StableDuel bucks? It might be a little much here, given, the horse might get wrapped up in a pace duel, but I think Luis is smart enough to keep this horse out of any clear battle. And two back showed that she can sit off the pace a little bit and wait for it with Flavian aboard. And I think Luis can do the same thing. At 5-1 here, you get a couple scratches. This might be a great price play, for the contest reason. But I mean, $6,000 is a shot I'm willing to take here.
So I'm going to use a little bit of an unfair advantage. What I'm going to do is actually watch this race. And if I actually watch this race, Crystal Ball won't win because I've never actually watched a race where a Rudy Brissett horse has won. Like, I see the statistics. I know he actually wins races, but I've literally never seen him one of his horse win. So I don't know where these statistics come from.
I was actually trying to ask Chase when was the last time you saw Rudy Brissett win a race.
Yeah, he is literally the fucking Bigfoot of horse training. Like, we think he, we want to believe he's out there. Maybe he's just blurry. We don't know. That's how I think of Rudy Brissett. I mean, 21% on the year. Where did those come from? Like, someone name me the last great Rudy Brissett horse. I'll wait.
Crystal Ball.
Hosier.
Oh my God! He got both of them, didn't he? Oh my Lord!
Oh, Mayor, you know what? Because you haven't seen him win ever, this might be the spot for a Brissett double on Saturday. Just because.
I literally will quit handicapping if that happens. I literally will.
Hosier double.
I stop. I quit.
How about
I will
You'll Point?
Go to live amongst nature. Like, I'll go like full like Emil Hirsch into the fucking wild and just live in like an abandoned short bus in Alaska if this is a Rudy Brissett double. I swear to Christ.
But
like Quip, Eel Point. I mean, he's got some good horses.
I've never seen Quip win. I never saw Quip win. When did Quip win? When's the last time Quip won?
the fifth race at some California state fair.
Yeah, Pleasanton.
Quip won like a grade 3 or something in his 4-year-old year, didn't he?
I mean, it may have been like 2019, but
I don't believe it. I didn't see it. Don't believe it.
Was that PC?
That's how I feel about dinosaurs.
Pre-COVID doesn't count.
Pre-COVID.
I see what he did there.
You guys got anything else here on race 9 you guys want to talk about?
Race 9? You mean 8?
8.
Race 8.
Sorry.
So, I mean, I don't – it's not my pick, but I think we probably at least have to talk about Spice is Nice. I mean, she is the favorite here. It's Todd Pletcher and Johnny Velasquez here. I mean, at Thistledown at 3-1. Like, yeah, this horse wasn't my pick. I've never thought she was that good. I didn't think she was that good at Gulfstream. I didn't care for her very much, at Keeneland, even though she beat me there at 1-2. And then at Pimlico, I mean, I think she took advantage of a track bias and just kind of, was able to, out-talent the, Dream of You, who I don't think is a particularly good horse in her own right. So, I mean, I'm against this horse, but curious to see what you guys think about her in this spot.
I thought the exact same thing. She literally had the Pimlico on that Friday when in the DuPont where Horologist was running. I literally think that she beat Horologist by virtue of having the more inside post draw. And so she got outside, flashed that speed, was on the inside, completely just hopped on the conveyor belt and went. So it puts me like really, really hard against Spice is Nice here.
Yeah, my thing with Spice is Nice is she's just not fast enough. She needs to run a career best race by quite a bit. I know Briz tends to flatter her figs a little more. Other products I look at do not flatter her nearly as much. And she's just too slow on multiple other products I'm looking at. And she's going to take a lot of money just on connections. So
I don't think she's even exceedingly fast on Briz though, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, she's way too slow on time form and way too slow on buyers. So she needs to somehow step massively forward. And I just don't think that can happen here.
So, go for it, Brian.
No, looking at the StableDuel aspect, if you look at the morning lines for this race, there's like 4 horses. They're all the same. price-wise, this race, if you don't have the winner here for StableDuel, you might find yourself behind the 8 ball in the contest on Saturday, right? I mean, because with 4 horses here right around $6,000 to $8,000, that's a big chunk of change to miss out on if you're a 4th place finisher.
Well, I mean, do you sort of game theory it and avoid a race like this? Just saying that if your logic is, hey, there are 4 or 5 horses that can win this, do I just avoid this race because I don't really have a strong opinion and I'm trying to fish and play the best value proposition, right?
I think it'd be interesting to see what happens with scratches. You know, let's be honest, one of these fillies or mares is bound to scratch out, right? I mean, it's just the history of what we see. Every time we see a nice field that's like competitive, there's usually one scratch. You're like, well, crap, now what? So I think Saturday morning will be interesting, but you might have a point there. You game theory it, and you try and maybe force a play earlier in the card in hopes of avoiding this.
Or you play Grand Baby and just win it all. Never mind. No big deal. No big deal.
Can you highlight? I see Steven has a question for Mark there in the chat, specifically talking about the.
But by the way, Bri, Spice is Nice is co-entered, so it wouldn't be surprised if she takes the entry and runs at Churchill.
Hey,
Can I just say that
Josh was talking.
Can I just say that I love the fact that when we highlight this, it just covers up Mark's face. That's great. It's a feature, not a bug. Oh no! Why did you put Brian on there? No, come on, man. But anyways, so Steven's saying, Mark, can you give a rough list of your top 5 older fillies? And I guess what I'll say is, do you think any of these, I guess we could say any of these 3, but really, I think Horologist and Spice is Nice are really the only 2.
I don't think so. I think this is the 2nd tier filly division that's running this weekend, with the top tier being at Churchill. So I would think that anybody who's running here is a bit of a pretender in the top 5, considering the older filly division is pretty strong. I'm assuming he's talking classic distance and not sprint distance older filly division. So there's a few very, very good horses in that older division, and I don't think any of them in here go top 5.
So, Mark, do you think you know the older fillies better than the younger fillies?
Oh, this is a loaded question.
Mark is we're just gonna move on from that one.
We're gonna move on. I'm just gonna ignore that question because this is a lose-lose situation. I'm gonna get run over.
Man.
So, sorry, Josh, go ahead and lead it in I'm so excited. I'm so excited. No, I like your lead-ins. I like the way you do it. We shouldn't mess with tradition.
You're that excited about the Ohio Derby?
About a horse in the Ohio Derby? Not the Ohio Derby itself.
This race
is it the same horse I'm excited for, Chase?
This is a pretty good race. What'd you say?
Is it the same horse I'm excited for?
I fucking hope not.
Okay. Well, hopefully you're not talking about Hosier. I know you're a big Hosier fan, as seen by our intro video yesterday.
Yeah, I smoked a lot of bath salts before that.
Yeah. All right, Chase, who do you like in here?
I like number 7, the Reds. I have a soft spot for Aqueduct horses that ran at Winter Duct. I think this horse gets the setup. It's not going to let the pace get too far away from it. You lose Kendrick Carmouche, which is unfortunate because especially at Aqueduct, he really ran well with the horse. I feel like this horse could definitely kind of pick up some pieces and do it here in this spot. I mean, ran in the P9 Ridge after it got taken off turf. Had a really strong showing in the Federico Tessio at Pimlico. I think the horse could really do pretty well. One, because of a disqualification in that one, so it probably should have won anyway. So I'm not thrown off by it not crossing the finish line first. And man, I think a little love for the Winter Duct horse will go a long way here.
You mean the Pennington Ridge?
It's the P9 Ridge, isn't it?
I'm just picking on you.
It's the turf. No, it's the turf. It's the P9 Ridge, right? No, Google it. Actually, if you're gonna pick, Google it. It's the P9 Ridge. Chase. It's the fucking P9 Ridge.
I don't know. I really hope Mark is wrong.
Are you sure it wasn't the Chad Pennington Stakes? I'm sure it's 100% the P9 Ridge. 100%.
Chad Pennington would not have a stakes named after him.
I mean, Mountaineer. At Mountaineer,
he'd have a stakes. It would be an incomplete race.
It would be in West Virginia since he's all Thunder and Herd and shit. Did you look it up?
It would be at Monmouth, right? Because
you're right, Chase. You're right.
he had such a weak arm, you can't use the whip.
Hold on, Mark. That 49-33. Chase is right. Quote by Mark. We're gonna clip that one and save it.
Okay.
There's a first time for everything. Broken clocks, something like that.
Mark, could you say that again?
Say what?
Could you
Broken clocks?
The part about me being right. Could you say that again?
No.
All right, because no one could see my celebration from that. I've stolen this from Jalen Rose, and I really like it.
Before the commercial break, if you missed it, Mark had just mentioned to Chase that he was correct and Mark was incorrect. Now
That's
back
right.
to the show.
Back to the show now. But no, I thought that the Reds was a decent value play. I do think that this is an absolutely wide open race, and I think there are just like a ton of horses that I don't really trust in this race, like at all. And I've got a little bit of a comfort and loyalty thing going with the Reds, so why not?
Josh, do you want to talk about the 10 or do you want me to? Because we both
here's
love
the thing,
same
right?
horse.
Now, look, okay, we're going to talk about the 10, right? I told Chase that the 10 is actually my top pick, like the entire contest, every single possible thing that you can imagine. I want to use a 10 in. I'm going to double in with this 10. I'm going to use this 10 in my stable, and my only question, and like. This is one of those cases, I think, hopefully, right? I'm gonna put myself into the mind of a tout, right? And how many times have we, sat here and say we love this horse and the horse is 6-1 or something on the morning line, and you go to bet it and the horse, oh damn, the horse is like 2-1, 3-1. I think that this horse should be way shorter, but I think that with all of the Derby washouts in here, I think that this price might hold. What do you guys think? 8-1?
I don't think you'll get 8-1, but I think you'll get 5 or 6.
I mean, I'm very interested in putting like an irresponsible double from Horologist into Masked Parade in here. So
if the buyer is anywhere near this Brisnet number of 102 for the last, if it's that big, then I think you'll probably get a lot of money on this horse, but it's a big field, and I kind of think that 8-1 is a pipe dream, but I think like 4-1, 5-1.
I mean, it's got everything that I want, right? It's got that big old E. It's got the 8. Is there anything else I really want? I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
He likes the E's with the snowman escort.
Yeah, but I mean, the horse is got that nice improving figure pattern. I mean, I just think this horse is ready to go. And I know I was talking with someone or I mentioned on Twitter. I think John Pissick or whatever. I think he was talking about this horse too. And I mean, I think that this is a horse to beat in this entire field. Now, one of the nice things about StableDuel is they go by the morning line, so you're gonna get your price here. And I think
$6K.
$6K.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're gonna. I mean, this is gonna be a nice cheap horse here. It's 3,000. Mark.
Oh, I must have looked at the wrong number. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's 3,000. So it's going to be a nice cheap price here. So I think that you're going to get a lot of value out of this horse, and this is what I'm going to build my lineups around. And this is the horse, and this is also what I'm going to. Yep. There's DJ.
DJ's on it
Right there, DJ.
I'm going to 100% agree with Josh here. This is the type of horse that I love. Improving form as they stretch this horse out. Fastest tied for the fastest bear speed fig in the field, has the fastest time form fig in the field last out. They stretched this one out after after that, I guess second place in the maiden. I guess the DQ to first. So the first time the horse actually crossed the finish line first was in an optional 75, and the horse just absolutely ran off the screen, winning by 11 lengths. Did it easily. If you watch the video, that horse was not asked at all and just did it all in hand. I love horses that this is a distance. We're running more of a classic distance today as they're stretching out, getting improved.
Who are you talking about?
Masked Parade.
Okay, I was making sure I didn't have to scroll. I'm so not used to running the show, and I'm so fucking terrible at paying attention to what people say.
The OCD is beating you down right now.
Yeah, specifically Mark. I tend to zone out a lot when Mark talks, and so Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't. You guys were talking about some other horse. I was just like, yeah, fucking Masquerade. Let's just keep looking at this. Sorry, continue. Masquerade.
Yeah, I mean, I know Josh is all over this horse because it's controlling. It's that E8 horse, right? It's going to be on the front end, and Josh loves those. But this is also a horse that I think there are other intrinsics here. It's a horse that's going to be controlling, won really easily last out, been getting better every time it runs, improved massively that last out. I hope that you don't see a regression off that last, but I think Masquerade makes a ton of sense here, and that will be a horse I would also key around in StableDuel.
I think there's 3 things you can count on in ruining Mark's day: Channel Maker, Channel Cat, and Channel Fury.
Who is it that almost had the Twitter handle I'm
really, I'm really happy that you confused Caleb and I, but we look a lot alike, but
you look nothing alike. Caleb is a tall, handsome drink of water.
We're bringing up horses like Channel Cat and everything, and I completely made this to for turf marathon races, but then I remember that we're at Thistledown and there's absolutely no turf, so I've been just jumping the gun trying to get it at any point.
We're trying to trigger Caleb. That's what we're going for here.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
talk to me, Brian.
I didn't realize we were trying to trigger Caleb. I'm sorry. It's one of those horses at 20-1. It's the Ohio Derby. It's a grade 3. Everybody's going to be sitting on apparently Masquerade and Proxy and probably Hosier and King Fury. So let's think outside the box here. I mean, Luis Raul Rivera is in the running for the top jockey at Thistledown, so keep that in mind. Last out, the horse had a stumbled start. Horse knows the track. Comfortable here. Obviously, I really like the move from a 25,000 non-winners or 3 lifetime up to a $500,000 stakes race. That's a
who are you talking about, real quick?
The jockey on the 11.
The 11. Okay, that's what I needed.
Channel Fury,
Channel Fury. Okay.
Wrong Fury.
Hey, that reminds me.
Jackson.
There we go.
Yes. See, so that's my big value play. And I'm going to have this horse in StableDuel. It's 20-1. It's a $500 or $250 horse. It's going to allow me to go very heavy later or earlier in the card on a few favorites that I like at $8,000. And this horse is crazy. There's 11 horses here. All I need is for this horse to finish in the top 5. And I think it's very possible. This horse is probably cheap. Probably the horse Josh should have picked because, well, the horse is going to fade at the half-mile pole, and I'm going to look like an idiot. But
that is some real inexpensive velocity right
Brian,
there.
let me tell you a little bit of something. I don't know what's in the water, but horses that I bet on the past week have decided that they want to finish first, including that Ravelli horse yesterday. So I don't know what's going on.
And heater ends now. You just killed it.
Yeah, killed the heater.
Yeah. I kind of, first off, I kind of see what Brian's saying about Channel Fury. I don't think that horse can win, but if you want a cheap stab at a horse that could hit the board, I don't hate that at all.
That's it.
21.
For strategy gameplay. Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah. I think from a distance perspective, this horse is up against it, but, I think this horse will make the lead over Masquerade, which is why I kind of have some reservations about Masquerade. Is I'm not really sure this horse can win from off the pace. I mean, can this horse duel with the 11, put him away and still draw off? I mean, maybe. I don't know. But, depending on the price you get live, I don't know how much I'd want to go for Masquerade. I've heard a lot of chatter about that horse. It might be the wise guy horse. This is a tough race. I mean, my real opinions here are kind of the against opinions, more so than a for opinion. Meaning I'm kind of against the 1 Promise Keeper as your favorite, and I'm against the 4 King Fury, and I'm against the 9 Proxy. So I'm kind of against your top 3 or 4 betting choices here who just don't really do a whole lot for me. I have a passing interest in the Triple Crown Gatekeeper, Keep Me in Mind. Mm-hmm. Now this horse just gets absolutely lost in the racing flow. I mean, he comes from so far off the pace. But you look at who he's been facing against, and he, since his maiden, he hasn't had a break that wasn't against a top tier 3-year-old in his last 7 or 8 starts. I think he finally gets that break here. I think he takes the Mr. Money route, where he probably is better in the Ohio Derby and the similar kind of grade 3 Mountaineer Derby kind of races, rather than going for the Travers and the Pennsylvania Derby. So I think he could be a nice grade 3 horse. If the 11 does in fact go with the 10, he should get a fair enough pace to run after here. And I think he's the most likely horse to run his race and finish in the top 2 or 3. I mean, is he the most likeliest winner? I mean, I don't know, but he's the one horse that, I could feel is probably trustworthy in this field. There's a lot of others with some really big question marks at pretty short prices.
I mean, he did, whenever he faced a field of I guess at that point they were 2-year-olds, but of not just like the all-stars, like he did what a horse that should be, good enough to win this race, should do, which is he absolutely just dunked on Smiley Sabatka and Arabian Prince, at Churchill Downs last November. Like it makes sense that with a little bit of a drop, he should be able to do his thing.
So if you guys are looking for a sneaky wise guy type horse, any love in here for Ethical Judgment, the 5? Horse that they tried to make into a turf horse in his first start when he doesn't have a ton of turf pedigree. I mean, he has some and he ran fine. Then he's caught 3 off tracks. They tried to run him back on the turf, where he won a maiden special that ended up getting taken off and put onto what was listed as fast dirt, but it was not actually fast. And then caught slop the next 2 out. He doesn't actually have a ton of off, the Tomlinsons aren't huge. It's not a horse you think would freak over sloppy going. This could be the first time he catches a real fast track, and he's not that much slower than anybody else in here. A horse that, Brendan Walsh is kind of looks like slowly moved forward. He's improved every single start he's run. Is this that late blooming 3-year-old type who just has a lot of excuses in his first few starts because he wasn't catching the right surface?
So this is the kind of horse that actually I do like to bet. These ones that have consistently kept like every single start that you see, and just by speed figures moved up. And like honestly, the horse hasn't done anything wrong. So I skipped over it, but I'd probably consider it now.
Horse is 1,000% a price play for me, a price dependent play, I'll say. I think he is bred to love an off track. I mean, with AP Indy on top and Smart Strike on bottom, I think he's taking advantage of races they've been washed off the turf, and he's kind of beating up on some turf horses that are running on the wrong surface. At 8-1, I like him. At 10-1, I like him. Mm-hmm. At 6-1 or 5-1, I probably let him beat me. So he's the exact definition of a price-dependent play for me in this field.
Do you think, would you rather take Ethical Judgment at 8-1, or would you rather take the 10 at 8-1?
I would take the 10.
I would take the 10 as well. Yeah.
I'd take the 5.
I just don't think that 10 is going to be 8-1. I think you're going to get the 10 at 5-1, because I think, Caleb made a pretty good argument over why a couple of horses in this field that are big names are suspect. And we probably should go through why Caleb feels that, because I'm going to 100% agree with him probably in all 3 cases. I think somebody like the 10 takes a lot of money. I think the 5 is more likely to get lost on board.
All right, yeah. But Caleb making a good argument. Caleb's probably the only person in this group who's had a woman buy him a drink. So, the man is just persuasive. I don't know.
You've seen my Still Weirdly Exist at MySpace page. I had my moments before marriage and children.
Moments.
I saw we're not top friends anymore.
I need to find your MySpace page, Chase, because mine's still active too.
I think it was Mark who found it. Like I had no idea at all.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
I actually think I had Kanye West as my background music on my MySpace page for a while.
Because he's a genius. Why wouldn't you?
So funny story actually is we were at a bar. Me and my friend Christine were at this bar in Chicago, and this has probably got to be like crap. I don't know, like 10 years ago at this point, maybe 9 years ago. And we're at this bar, and she saw a guy, and she's like, "Man, that guy's cute." She's like, "I think I'm gonna buy him a drink." I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." So she tells the bartender and buys the guy a drink, and so the bartender brings a drink over, and she's like, "Hey, that girl over there bought it for you." He didn't believe the bartender. He was just like, "No, there's absolutely." So he thought all of his friends were like playing a prank on him, and like would refuse to come over and talk to her. And then like I was like, all right, let me leave. I don't know, like maybe if I leave, he'll come over here. So I like walk. I went to the bathroom. I come back, and sure enough, I come back. He bought me and my friend Christine a drink. He sat there and talked to her for like 30 seconds and then left. And
So I get super frazzled like running the show, but the one thing I like about it is when Josh goes on like this, I can be like, "Cool story, bro. Let's see what Stephen Fox has to say."
Oh man.
Proxy? Yes, that's Caleb wins. There we go. That's exactly it. Yes.
Where's someone better call Murphy? Where's Murphy at? Get
Still
him on
waiting
the
to cash
line.
his futures bet from like 9 months ago.
Oh, let me message him.
I mean, Proxy is just that kind of horse that, you know, runs in place and maybe passes a couple tired horses, but he's not fast enough to get the lead. He's not good enough to win from off the pace. He might run fourth, but I'm not interested.
Chase, that photo, like, you fucking kidding me?
Yep. I mean, nope. I'm not kidding you. Swag.
You got the curly Q mustache going? Like, what in the world?
Yeah, I did a short film for a friend. It was called The Hipster Agenda, and so everyone had to get like super hip for the shit. So I had the.
And you're not using
fedora.
hipster earlier in the card. I mean, come on now. We've talked about.
Actually, I did. I picked hipster.
Oh, did you? You like? Oh, okay.
Wrong. All right. Yeah.
All right, we got race 10 here. Moving on to the last maiden here, 6 furlong maiden.
Just a stellar way to end. Stellar way to end a card right here. $24,000.
This was tough. I mean, Mark, did you have any thoughts here that you liked?
I went 3 deep here. There was only 3 horses in here I could make a case for, and none of them that I felt in any way, shape, or form comfortable about. And those are the 3. Hold On to Your Tiara, the 4 Glamorous Life, and the 7 OK Baby. I think, Hold On to Your Tiara, just because of how badly this field sucks, and it's a 35% first or claimer, probably takes all the money, but man, this is a really, really, really tough race. Just there's, these are all cheap horses. They're all there's no one in here that I go, oh, I'm excited to bet this horse. It's a bunch of horses that just.
Would you spend $8,500 on Hold On to Your Tiara?
No.
You could almost claim her for that much. Well, that's a special weight.
So this is a race. I if I was playing StableDuel, I would avoid this race. This is a race where, unless you have a really strong opinion or you have a 20-1 in here that you can make a case for, these are the type of races where I take a 20-1 in something like a StableDuel because they can possibly win this kind of a thing.
Ooh, pick me. 20-1 I can make a case for.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Where?
I think this 5 has a shot. My own passion. The first, 5 or 6 races, not good. Last 2 races, though, the horse has shown really improved early speed, has gotten out to a lead in both of those races. And who else goes to the front here? I mean, go ahead. I'll fucking wait. Who else gets the lead?
You do realize the trainer for those last 2 isn't the trainer for today, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out.
I mean, that doesn't bother me a whole lot. I mean, the horse ran 20 days ago. I mean, I thought it forgot how to go forward.
This is Thistledowns, man.
You doubt that?
forgot to throw this in here.
I'm saying the horse, plus, this is Thistledowns. The horse is running at Tampa. I mean, Tampa's trash, but it's not like Belterra Park or Thistledowns. That's still like.
So you're talking about you're putting the Belterra races on a pedestal.
No, I'm putting the Tampa races on a pedestal and saying
never
that
put Belterra on a pedestal.
When this horse got to Ohio, it was competitive.
You're the king of parks.
Yeah, give me all of it.
This is a good point.
How can the king of parks call Tampa trash?
Because Parks is also trash. There's multiple tiers of trash.
Caleb was in
there's like water trash, and above water trash you have
right.
Okay, so this is just the floating
Wind
trash on top.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa's not a good track, but it's better than fucking Belterra, and it's better than Thistledowns. So
I actually like Belterra. Like I've been watching it quite a bit, like the last couple weeks. I actually like Belterra.
I'm not saying
It was kind of a fun track to play.
I don't want to be controversial, but I strongly suggest you eat a dick. That's all.
I don't know, guys. Mahoning Valley is kind of fun to play. Mahoning Valley is in the same little Ohio.
Wait, how about Asanobia? I mean, that's a fun track to play.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, let's settle down here with the T word because we've all been known to play some questionable tracks. So
Hey, let's be honest.
Mr. Parks and
I will probably
Mr. Delta Downs.
I will probably play Tampa more with the new race caller. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Hey, I love Jason Beam.
That's true.
Yeah, agreed.
So Caleb's question was who do you think beats the horse to the lead? I actually think it's my pick in here is it's the 7, the OK Baby. In terms of speed figures, pretty much towers. Had a place at Oaklawn over the spring. Goes back to Ohio, is in a back in a protected race in a maiden special weight. I think this one gets the job done. Might be a race where and I still think that the horse can, even if it doesn't beat your 5 to the lead, it will just sit off the early pace of your 5 and pass it in the stretch. The horse is developing. It's definitely getting to the point to where it's actually passing horses and making up ground. So that's my play. I would actually probably use this race in StableDuel just to use this OK Baby horse.
The Okie bread, huh?
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize Hector Barrios knew how to ride on dirt.
He can ride on everything: asphalt, broken glass.
It looks like Joe Marcello saying that Thistledown used to have a turf course until 1974. Last race ran on it was Labor Day, and Mike Hanks rode the winner. Shout out to the Ohio horse racing historian Joe Marcello.
That's like a Road Warrior of Ohio kind of stat.
Yeah,
I didn't know that Tom Hanks did things before acting. Like he was
his
actually
brother, Mike Hanks.
Mike. Oh, it was Mike Hanks. Okay.
It was right before Big.
I want to say it's 74. It was way before Big.
A big shout out to Joe Marcello also still for sending me that bottle of Weller 107. I believe I'm contractually obligated to mention his generosity every time. I paid him back by splitting a bunch of Sam Houston tickets because I was on a heater, and the heater subsequently ended after we started splitting tickets. So we'll have to get him back next year.
So a guy with the name Marcelo sent you a bottle of booze, and now the family may call upon you for a favor one day. That's what you just told me. Nothing.
I mean, if we want to cast a stereotype that all Italian Americans are involved with the American mafia, then maybe, Brian. But it's not. It's a different day. It's changed.
I watch TV, and TV tells me stereotypes happen with the Italian Americans. The guy I work with, he's Italian, and he'll tell you point blank, he loves the stereotype because people don't mess with him when they see his name.
Just go ahead and say
his hands. Is he like this?
He does. He talks with his hands just like this, like nonstop.
There's only one way that you can end this, and that's by saying Gabagool.
Yeah, I actually I'm gonna take the Caleb approach to this race, and the Caleb approach is when you look at a race and you see a bunch of loser maiden horses, you take the lightly raced one. So I think I'll probably key around the 4 Glamorous Life here, and this does look like John Wilbanks is also on that 4 Glamorous Life. Came out
mentioned before,
Yeah, came out and ran pretty evenly, and didn't really make up much of ground. But he was well bet in his debut, she was well bet in her debut, and it's come back here second time out for a trainer that looks like wins at 24% second time out. So I'll take my shot here with the 4, 8-1. You're going to get a nice little price there. Looks like you'll be paying about $3,000 for it. So. I think that'll help you afford a couple of the bigger priced horses earlier. So
I like your 4, Josh. That's probably my top pick, but
Mark had a real long blink because it was like it's also my 4. So
I do like the 4. I mean, it's the second time out improvement, puts this horse right in the mix.
Yeah. In a field where everyone's suspect, those are the kind of horses you want. A horse that has every opportunity to improve. Instead of these horses that have run, 8, 10, 12 times and have been running versus cheaper and couldn't get it done.
I just want to say for the record, OK Baby is only run 6 times, so it hasn't hit the cutoff yet.
I was a little interested in that horse Sky that you had pointed out there. I think Sky is also interesting in the spot, but I mean the horse has had 8 tries and has only finished in the money once. I think and you know, I know Caleb and I don't see eye to eye on this with the pace figures for Brisnet, but the Brisnet pace figures like make it look like this horse should be better than it is. So I don't know. I think Sky might make a little bit of sense, but I mean, I'm gonna take the longer price in the 4 Glamorous Life. And Glamorous Life will probably take money. This is going to be one of those times where, once again, StableDuel uses the money line or the morning line. So you're going to get I think, a more fair StableDuel price than you would in regular play.
What's the line on that horse, Josh?
8-1.
Yeah, that's a phenomenally bad line. I would use that horse, 6 ways to Sunday and StableDuel at that price.
I'm scrolling through to see if there's the other type of Josh horse in this race.
Like the 1 for 30 kind of horses.
Yeah, the closest we have is the 6, I believe, St. Patsy, which has the name of absolute loser that will never achieve anything in life. So I just talked St. Patsy in the winner circle. So why no love for the 6? This is literally like your favorite kind of horse.
I mean, like you guys constantly say this is my kind of horse, but there's literally nothing to like about this horse.
It's a saint. It's been canonized. I mean, didn't have to perform a miracle to become a saint. Isn't that how that works?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Not being a guilt. Oh, it's a feat. Never mind.
Well, I think we kind of got through that late pick 5. I was looking through some of the other races. I thought maybe in race 1, for example, I think one of the longer priced or the more expensive horses I was interested in is the 2, the Falcon at 7-2. That horse seemed to make a lot of sense here. Outside of that, there wasn't really anything else in the other races that kind of stood out to me. The Falcon will be $7,500. I think primed to just run another good race here.
So I've got one in race 4 that I feel like you have to use, and this is actually Esplanade. I think not only is this a boom value bet, but it's also my best bet. 5-2 on the morning line is a steal because I think that this horse is probably going to go off closer to even money.
3 to 5.
3 to 5.
3 to 5, 4 to 5. Yeah.
Absolute steal in this format with the 5-2. So when this horse gets bet down to 1 to 5, and just absolutely runs a hole through the wind, as I believe Caleb said once, and I love and I steal all the time. When Esplanade just absolutely romps this feels like the horse for me that I'm going to build my stable around in this tournament.
Well, you're spot on. That's where I went too. That's where I was trying to be cheap later on because both the Falcon in race 1 and Esplanade in race 4 I thought were must-use horses for me. And that's $15,000 of StableDuel cash right there in 2 races, which is a salty step. But I think both horses will prevail, and I think they're both worth it.
Just for the record, none of us should be on the Falcon because that was actually I was writing down what horses I would play outside of the pick 5. It was the Falcon.
I have to I just got the funniest private message I've ever seen. Joe Marcello just messaged me and said, and I quote, "My brother's favorite active horse is the Falcon," and he is dead serious. His brother's favorite active horse is the Falcon.
We might need to unpack that. Let's you dig why out of him. Anyone else have any other outside?
Yeah, Joe, we're gonna need more info on this. And like I said, I'm using the Falcon. I'm building it's one of the horses that I'm kind of interested in here. And I thinking about this, I might be a little bit price heavy now. I haven't tried to create my lineup or anything. I don't even think the game's up yet. I think the games usually come up a day or 2 out, so they'll probably be up tomorrow. And by the way, if you guys have not signed up for StableDuel yet, We do have a link in our description there. Go ahead and sign up through it through your mobile. It does not work on desktop, unfortunately. Right now, they're kind of, they're still working on developing the app. But go ahead and sign up through your through Android or iPhone, and just use the link that we got in there. But yeah, it's not Latruska, it's the Falcon. He's eccentric. That is what I've been told. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. Like Joe is one of he's a pretty straight shooter. So we've had tons of discussions. So man, shout out to the Falcon. I don't know, man. If the Falcon wins, maybe we got to create a Falcon shirt. I don't know.
So yeah, we were talking about
branded Falcon hoods that we can put on people,
just the hood alone.
Yeah, just weird Falcon hoods that people can.
So you're gonna make them white so they fit in down where you live, right?
We're gonna end up being just the #1 fetish shop on the internet.
Dude, I'm just laughing because Joe is just listing all these top tier horses. He's like, no, you don't understand. Not Swiss Skydiver. The Falcon is his favorite horse. Not Latruska. The Falcon is his favorite horse. And Joe, I gotta tell you, as somebody who's lost a ton of money on Jakarta, I hate that horse and I keep betting it. But to the uninitiated, people might think Jakarta's my favorite horse, but I actually hate that horse. Oh man.
Yeah, if you want another horse that I thought you could build around early, race 2, the 7, horse by the name of Resilient Colors. Horse is 4-for-4 lifetime, 4-for-4 across this track. Should be, I don't know. I'm gonna pull up here. Should be just off the lead, probably tracking the 6, who I think is a bit of cheap speed. And I think it's super interesting. Now, I sort of hate the morning line. I don't know if I want to burn that much money on a horse in a fairly competitive field. But again, I think this is one of those really high win percentage angle type horses.
So I liked your horse, but then I was thinking about it, and I don't. Resilient Colors is anywhere. Resilient Colors is going to be on the lead. Just looking at the past performances, looking at the speed, I don't think this horse is going to be tracking anybody, and so I feel like it might be a need the lead type who hasn't been beaten to the punch yet, and there's a lot of speed in this one. So I actually had I thought the 5.
Could you
would be the one that could actually rate and sit off of an early pace. If
could you just hates winning, and this horse has just been beaten a million times at at this sort of a level, and hasn't, I don't think, has won in this barn, which is a real low percentage barn. I agree with you. I think you're trying to, in that sort of race, find that other sort of horse. If you wanted the horse from off the pace, the one that I was more interested in was the 8 Hoboken Hustle, who I thought was a horse that made some sense and was 8 of 10 in the exacta across the track. So horse that seems to get along fairly well with Timonium.
Hoboken Hustle out of inspired by Jersey Town. That's kind of funny.
I mean, isn't this a lost opportunity to have Joe Bravo ride a horse? I mean, your horse.
It is. It really is.
I mean, shouldn't he be on this horse? Yeah.
There's a point when things become too New Jersey, and I think whenever you get Jersey Joe up on the Hoboken Hustle by Jersey Town, that's when you.
Yeah, this is the horse I tried to make the Dale Tar reference about, but everybody just kind of brushed me off. So.
That's because Dale Tar is a religious figure, and you're crossing some lines there, buddy.
But his name is Heldar. So Heldar Dale Tar. I thought I had a good twang.
Nah, man, hell no. I do believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that.
Is today, I was a little off topic, but is today closing day at Canterbury?
No way. Maybe.
I feel like it just started.
Didn't they just start a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, not that long
ago.
I
know yesterday was their big day, so that's why I was. Oh no, they're going through September. Okay. No, I see John Wilbanks is playing Canterbury, and I think going forward we'll probably do a little bit more stuff with the live playing. But I know this week was a real huge day for StableDuel, so we wanted to cover their big contest. And Caleb, you're somebody who's played played more of these than I think anybody else, probably more than the rest of us combined. I know Brian dabbles. I've played a little bit, but what do you think? You think there's going to be a little bit of an overlay here? You think there's going to be a little player's advantage here?
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance. StableDuel's offering a $10,000 guarantee, so it's a $75 entry to that contest. So they need 133 entries, and we're talking Thistledown. So definitely throw in a stable, throw in 2 stables, because there is a chance that they may not reach that full guarantee. And if that's the case, it's a player's advantage because they're still going to pay out as if they have 10 grand in the pot. So definitely throw in a stable or 2. I'll have at least 1 in. I might be fulfilling date night obligations, so I don't know that I'll get to actually watch or play a whole lot, but I will have a stable in either way and take multiple bathroom breaks to check on my stable.
He'll be playing, but he won't be playing the horses, if you know what I mean.
John, I'm not sure. To what you were referring, I'm not sure. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to.
I was just looking at the terms of service to see if there's a state that might be prohibited, but
we can find out.
We can look into it for you. I think as long as you're in the U.S., you should be fine. I know Canada has issues, I think, but I think as long as you're in the States, you should be okay. But we'll talk to people about it.
Hit one of us also on Twitter, PM us on Twitter, and we can get it taken out with whatever sort of issues you might have.
Now, Caleb, if you had like one word of advice for someone who's new to the game, what would it be?
I guess it would just be to, it goes without saying, but understand the scoring is kind of the obvious one. It's different from contest play or like horse tourneys or anything else because, you can lose points if your horse like runs up the track and gets beat by 30 lengths. So you want to be careful with your blind stabs, but, ultimately you're going to have to take a few risks. So in general, the way I try to approach these is find your 2 to 3 horses that you love and that you think almost a lock for a win or a top 2 finish. And then find your 2 to 3 horses that you love at prices. These 8 to 1 to 12 to 1 or 15 to 1 kind of horses that you love to hit the board. Those are the kind of horses you don't expect to win, but just to hit the board and give you some points. And once you kind of get, 5, 6, 7 horses placed in your lineup, you can kind of go back and fill in the middle. Figure out of the races that are left and of the horses that are left, like what gives you the best chance to, end up winning. So that's probably the one thing I'd recommend is don't go through it one race at a time and pick one race or one horse from each race in the order that they come, because you really want to make sure that you're prioritizing your best opinions, both on the heavy chalk and on the bombs, and then kind of fill in the middle price horses, after the fact.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different than like horse tourneys where, or any of those other tournament sites where hey, take a shot on that 30 to 1, right? And if it wins, like you're getting a ton of bankroll. But if you lose, like you're just losing essentially your one bet. Like it's a little bit different here. Like if your horse, runs up the track, then you could be in dire straits. But yeah, I played the Pimlico contest on Friday for Preakness weekend, and like it was probably like the second or third contest I played, and I finished second and like took home like $500. So it was it really is just like essentially kind of making sure you're not losing points anywhere, and like find where you think there's a bad line. I know Mark and Caleb, I think we've all pointed out, a couple lines where we thought were a little suspect. Like that's where you're going to find your quote unquote value, because you're not going to use as much salary for those types of horses. So those are the types of horses that you're going to want to kind of key your play around. Like I said, I think Mask Parade probably goes off at 4 to 1, and you're only going to pay the 8 to 1 price on it. So those are the kind of horses that you're going to kind of want to save some bucks on.
Caleb, I keep thinking that you're sitting in front of like a Jack Link's beef jerky factory of some
Ooh.
sort.
I wish, dude. I wish.
Dude, this entire time, all I've been thinking about is like ordering food, and I already had dinner. But I'm like, man, I don't know, maybe McDonald's, a little Uber Eats, a little McDonald's over here.
You want to order McDonald's?
Yeah, why not?
At least you're not having ice cream delivered in the winter again.
That's true. All right, you guys got anything else?
Yeah, good racing this weekend.
Yeah. And now we're gonna do the Churchill Downs card.
No, anyone got anything for Stephen Foster? I mean, we got a minute. Anyone got any picks or anything that they want to talk about Stephen Foster? It's Maxfield once again seems to have drawn just like a real light field, and I just want to bet Chess Chief all over again, just because I just like have like some sick obsession apparently with that horse.
Was it Caleb or Murphy that I beat with Chess Chief in the alternate Discord March Madness?
You beat me, but I don't think it was with Chess Chief.
I think it was Murphy. I think I Chess Chiefed Murphy to death.
Dude, how does Maxfield keep catching these soft ass fields? Like, come on! Like, this is like a free grade 2 to anyone who wants to show up, and we get, we get Chess Chief.
Yeah, I would say honestly, I could care less about that race. To me, the Fleur de Lis is the race that I'm super stoked to see. You're getting, you have Point of Honor, Vol on Vantant, Spice is Nice, and Latruska all in the same race. Hopefully, I think that should be just a really, really super interesting race.
I wish I could take prop bets for how many lengths Latruska wins by.
I mean, do you think she towers? I mean, she's got to come return back to earth at some point, right?
As long as the jockey holds on.
She didn't even have to leave the fucking stratosphere to win her last race, though. Like that was a very highly paid workout. Like at the was the Acorn? No, it wasn't the Acorn. It was the Ogden, right?
Ogden Phipps, yeah.
Yeah. You don't think En Vantant can challenge her?
I mean, not unless someone actually
on the lead. No, I mean in the stretch.
On the wrong lead.
Also no.
No, that was bad. Okay.
But if I'm playing against the 4 to 5, I don't really want the 2 to 1.
You beat Latruska with the middle move, for the record.
I mean, Latruska only loses if there's a crazy pace duel and someone closes, in my opinion.
Or it just runs into just the most tiring, speed, killing track that's out there.
I mean, I'd be looking to an off the pace runner like Vault or somebody.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm looking at some of the Wise Dan, like, unless Jose Ortiz falls off some like at Hot Brown, he should probably just run that entire like, I mean, there's literally no other horse that like wants to be within lengths of someone like a Hot Brown. So
yeah. Jose Ortiz has blocked me on Twitter for saying this, but he may fall off. My opinion of him is not high. That's why I'm blocked by him. Sorry,
are we
Jose.
all? Does everyone have at least one jock block or no?
I have none.
I have none also, but I'm not really a social media person. I'm a boomer.
Same.
Chase, I know you gotta be blocked. Chase is probably the most blocked out of all of us. Although Brian, your horse racing jerk.
I think there's literally only one. There's only one person I know of that's blocked me, and it's the Staggy Man. I have no idea why.
Okay.
There's just like a bunch of like random guys that have me blocked, and it might have been because of probably non-horse racing opinions. But the David Cohen is the big one. And that's
you don't like set piece in the West End a little bit. I mean, I realize.
Some like a Hot Brown is probably one of like my top 5 favorite horses to watch run. So I saw he's entered, and there's no other speed, so I don't really care about who else.
I mean, set piece can sit right up. Well, probably yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. You're probably right. You're probably right. He gets stupid loose in there.
Yep. So I'm gonna try and get live to Chess Chief in the last. Dude, you guys remember that New Orleans race where everyone thought Chess Chief was just gonna wire, and then he instead.
Did anyone else need a break?
Oh, that's nice. What happened?
What? Why did you mute me?
Oh, is that what happened? My bad. I didn't mean to. I'm abusing my power while I still have it.
You like it. Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be a fun card. I think it's a closing day for Churchill. It's probably their like third or fourth biggest night. So
Josh, why do you love tracks that hurt you?
you know what? I'll be honest. I have not played as much Churchill as I normally do because.
But I mean, but the running Arlington into the ground. I mean, this is really Stockholm syndrome. I'm a little concerned about you.
Look, I gotta take it while I can.
Hey, well, you guys argue out Churchill Downs in Arlington. I'm just going to throw out there real quick. I was looking at tomorrow's card. Woodbine's got a fun little $10 stable duel contest. Nice fields tomorrow. If you're looking for something to do on Friday afternoon, I'd check out the $10 Woodbine stable duel. I mean, the eighth race.
5 carryover at Woodbine too.
And the eighth race has like 15 horses in it. So, I mean, worth your time. But
Dude, did you guys see Caleb's eyes light up when I said pick 5 carryover?
Yeah, where
he doesn't even play Woodbine, but he's interested.
Well, I play pick 5 carryover at Scandinavian harness racing. I mean, I don't give a shit.
Dude, do you guys remember maybe 3 weeks ago? It seemed like every day there was a different pick 5 carryover, and we were just like playing like, was it Canterbury had one, and then was it Pimlico had like a force out, and then I think Belmont or Aqua, like it was just like nuts. It felt like there was a carryover every day, and like I was just playing like all kinds of tracks I normally don't play, and it was just very detrimental to my bankroll. But it was fun.
And John Wilbanks, I 100% agree with you. I think Warriors Charge is probably my horse in there as well. Warriors Charge is going to get stupid loose in Stephen Foster, and I think and I just hate Maxfield, so I'm trying to find anyone to beat Maxfield. Really? This is the new Caleb response.
It is. It's my new scorn.
Dude, Chase looks like he's ready to fall asleep.
Do you have like a sweet outro, Chase? What do we have for like the outro?
I can run the commercial again, or I can run our video. There's also like a 30-second countdown that looks like with either like cigarette ash or snowflakes falling. I can't tell.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. For Caleb, Brian, Chase, Mark, I am Josh. Check us out at ontheronglead.com. Our Twitter is wrong_lead. You guys see our Twitters here. And sign up for StableDuel. We'll catch you guys later.